What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime is Blazer King with King. Well, it's not technically King's Critiques. It is, but it isn't, depending on when I upload this. You know what it is. It's the Blazer King in either sense. Anyway, number one caveat. Apologize for the air conditioner, but again, it's pretty damn hot. And I'm not going to turn it off while it's still hot out. Because I'm getting tired of sweating in my white shirts. Apparently, this up here is getting ruined. Hopefully, you guys can't see it. I just need to find a good way to clean that. If you have a good way to clean white graphic tees, do let me know in the comment section, because that's actually highly appreciated. Anyway, on to the next caveat. Speaking of comments, if you have anything drop in your head about the episode, me, or whatever else it might be, it's always encouraged to drop a comment down below. Whether it's to help with something I directly ask about, or just to share your own opinions on things. And in equal light, it's always highly appreciated to let the video run through when you get the watch time, hit the like button, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. That being said, let's get into the episode, shall we? Oh, right, the quick recap between this situation happening with her, Shin, Mafuyu, and that other dude who came on the boat with her. And the other fight that went down between the dude in glasses and his team and Sakamoto, Jackass, and Akira, who Akira, like we had thoughts of, definitely had plot relevance, locked the fuck in and almost killed the dude with glasses with her finger. Now let's get into it. And speaking of locking the fuck in, she just did. Okay, so Slur and Gaku and Kashima are starting some shit, but what shit are they starting? And who of those three that were on the boat is part of their group? Because again, I'm kind of giving it to the guy in the ski cap, but also might be the guy who just showed up and said absolutely nothing. Am I ruling it out to be the girl completely? Yes, because that is too obvious. Because her being a Sakamoto fangirl makes it the most obvious for her to be in Slur's pocket. And that's why I am disregarding it. Oh, and we get a recap of her losing her shit. Cool. Damn. They made a bet with her and lost. Well, sucks to suck. That's why you can't trust a hot chick with a gun. Well, okay, that's not the only reason you can't trust a hot chick with a gun. But listen, when they have the kind of demeanor she does, don't trust a hot chick with a gun. Exactly, don't talk shit about her being better than you because you challenged her. Well, I don't know where she is, but I know who she is, and I would like to know her relation to you. Especially, I would like to know the relation because it still could... Like, mother is the obvious answer. But again, you always gotta look around the obvious. That's why I also kind of guessed an aunt possibility. Aunt! I was right! Let's go! Come on, can we be 2 for 2? Can the guy in the ski cap be the Slur apprentice? Because I would love to be 2 for 2. And honestly, pairing the guy with the ski hat with Shin makes it another more obvious possibility that that's a thing. Because that means he could get it in with the good guys, but actually be a bad guy. Actually, now I know. The crazy chick with the gun blade, gun axe, kind of reminds me of a Oshinoko character because she has that star in her eye. Okay, he's too soft-spoken to be of any immediate use, unfortunately. He's trying to help. He was trying to answer Shin's question, and then Mafuyu just interrupted him. Oh, that's what he was trying to say. And he probably will, when they get out of the water, be like, I was trying to tell you guys we're breaching a dead end. Oh, of course she's fucking falling like Tarzan. Like I said, like Tarzan. Of course you have that kind of perception about him. Also, shoot me if you want, but her attractiveness level did just kind of go up by 3, at least. Because, like, at first she was just adorable, but now they're kind of, like, making things more pronounced, so... Okay, but to be fair, thin Sakamoto is, yeah, okay, kind of an attractive guy. Oh, okay, no, that makes further sense for the white ponytail. Right. I need that kind of level of devotion into things. Like, apparently the only thing you need to actually lock the fuck in is an obsession. Like, I need to find something to properly obsess over, and then hit the point of stopping before it becomes creepy, because obviously obsessing is the answer that I need, because Like, look at Renako from Watanabe, you know? She became obsessed with being a normal person, so she locked the fuck in. Still, it doesn't work 100%, but it worked enough to get her at least 3 girlfriends. You know, this chick was very unsure of herself until she became obsessed with Sakamoto, and then she locked the fuck in. Granted, in both cases, they're attractive teenage girls, so it was like real easy. So I guess never mind, let me back down from that thought process until I see like the story of a guy locking the fuck in and, you know, having this situation happen. Okay, but like I do understand her point of view on it now. Like literally Sakamoto for her is what, you know, crazy religions are to other people. But at least like in her case, it's someone she can admire in the ways of a god that she can actually proves exist and does good for the planet. Or the country, I guess. So honestly I can't blame her, and I kind of hope she joins the main cast more now because she's that type of understandable person. You know, she doesn't just like read a book that spawned millions of better content and choose to believe in that person. Which, hate me if you want, I'm not a religious person. I will never say anything good about the idea of religion in general. However, I will say that the one book created by somebody in the Bible spawned so many good things after. Music, movies, TV, anime, that kind of shit. So much good has come from the Bible. Like, if you want to include all the lessons that people learned that didn't involve them hating people, cool. But mostly people I hear trying to talk shit from the Bible are just very hateful people. But, like, you can talk about, you know, all the fucking, you know, long line of horror movies, you know, the supernatural movies. I mentioned Conjuring before and going to see that, and it made me realize, hey, these technically count as a religious style film because they use the power of God to fight the ghosts, demon specters, all that shit. You know, anime. Yeah, lots of anime that are based off from religious idealisms. Full Metal Alchemist being a big one. Seven Deadly Sins, obviously. Even lewder variants of like Seven Mortal Sins. Like, it just... Christian rock has a whole fucking category ranging from amazing to that's alright. I'm not gonna stick on the religion thing, but like, honestly, I kinda like her. Yeah, she probably just recognized that because Sakamoto does the same thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he kind of works with Sakamoto regularly. Well, kind of. No, okay, this is not going to help considering we're not supposed to reveal our identities. So, what's his plan here? Does he go along with her thought process of thinking he's just a fan? Or does he just become honest and say that he, at minimum, used to work with Sakamoto? And then maybe that'd, like, get her to not try to kill him. Okay, so he is going to relate to her, but, like, how he knew about Sakamoto before they met again. Well, because he kind of does. He, like, is his friend. He works with him. Multiple variants of that word. So, like... Matter of fact, they're actually basically family by this point. Jealousy? Yes, jealousy. You know, if Shin was gonna, like, try to be honest with her, couldn't he have just, like, been fully honest instead of risking his life on that log? Because how simple would it have been to look at her and be like, yeah, I'm a huge fan of his old work, too. And, you know, I've met him. I can get in touch. Would you like to meet him? He could have played that card, but he did it the stupid and overconfident way. Men, right? Yeah, like, it's that guy I kind of say might be Slur's helper. Like, maybe not. Maybe it's not even one of the 3 that arrived on the boat, but one of the others. I love how she's shooting that thought process just joking, and yet she's actually so right. Probably should, especially if you're not a bad guy. Dude, you don't gotta make some sort of cool entrance line to jump down and help him in a fight. That is Not a good idea. Okay, I'm still going with he might be Slur's dude because that kind of personality trait seems right up Slur's alley. Yeah, he's a germaphobe and nauseated, so that doesn't help. Yeah, you're just trying to help out, man. We know. See, it's not about him actually connecting with you in the way that you think he wants to. It's about pushing you back into a much worse situation. About pushing you back into a much worse situation. Well, apparently she is not down and out. Oh, she lost her doll and is very upset about that. Oh, she can't swim. So he's gonna feel bad for her and help. Of course he is. Yep. Does that surprise you, though? Honestly, Shin, I would have left her weapon at the bottom of the water and just grabbed her and the doll, but... Because my purpose being here is not to kill people. Which, by the way, Sakamoto wouldn't have been too happy if I let you die either. Meet up afterward, you can meet him. Bit more long-winded, but... And basically, what I said, yeah. She knew he wouldn't have wanted her to die, so he went, fine. And hey, listen, if she falls in love with Shin, at least he's like closer to her age, so. Though, actually, yeah, that actually would work out better for him, especially if she just like isn't still in high school. She just dresses up like that because it fits her assassin persona. So. And if she is still in school, well, I guess her and Lee can be friends. Lee? Brat. Now she wants to befriend him too, like I said. Which, again, gives more leeway for maybe she can join the good guys. Is he gonna ask for the flag? Oh, that's not good. He saves her life and this guy's gonna come down and finish her. Well, at least her head didn't get knocked off. She just got flown into a fucking boulder. Okay, well, apparently it was the guy who said nothing on the boat. I mean, if she didn't die, she's definitely joining the good guys in some way, shape, or form. Though, even if she is still alive over there, now Shin has this problem to deal with. Not even an actual assassin in training, but someone they've already had to contest with using VR, which is crazy to consider. So, honestly, doing the ski hat, I was wrong about him, so it was a 1-for-1 on my correct guesses in the past couple episodes, so I'll take it. Yeah. You only caught her by surprise. That was the only reason that happened. No, that's because the thing you're connected to is being stopped. And now the applicants or the administrators are like reviewing him for knocking the bitch into a fucking boulder. Damn. He tried to take a life? Or no, that's actually when he took the tail of his ally. Damn. Gaku fucked up the whole operation because of that. He took off his own tail at one point. Dipshit. And yeah, that, oops. And that is the exact reason why Slur is looking for recruits, for people that will actively do that. Unfortunately, they didn't really consider who they were having wear the gloves and headset. Unfortunately, Gaku's gonna lose his shit and the whole thing's probably gonna be thrown out. Your weapon is another person! Yeah, unfortunately, sweetheart, you're probably also gonna get got, but hey, at least you had a couple moments to be cool. Hopefully Shin realizes what's going on sooner rather than later and, like, takes the gloves and headset off the dude so maybe it all becomes disconnected. He's just using the bitch as a fucking nunchuck. Well, there she goes. Yeah, because now a majority of the administrators are also dead. So that sucks. Hopefully Shin Mafuyu can kick their game up a little. Shin's gonna stay and help. I think he actually understands that this dude's motions are a little familiar, and he knows what he's doing. No, he just doesn't want other people to get hurt more because he's not stopping it now. See, that's one of those, like, anime traditions that runs very thin, is that the protagonist or secondary protagonist has their fight in the first, like, 5 episodes of the anime, they just can't do anything about. So they just kind of look back like, okay, fuck it, we're retreating. We'll be back in, like, 50 episodes to beat your ass. And then within those 50 episodes, the main villain kills, like, another 100 or 4 people. And it's like, shit, maybe I should have, like, did this faster. Like, I'm not going to say that specifically is what happens, but it may as well be the kind of thing that happens more often than not, honestly. Like, fucking take a look at Naruto, for example. What if they had killed Orochimaru the very first time they saw him, instead of, like, letting it get out of hand like it did? Or, I'm trying to think of another example, but I'm not really thinking of a good example. I guess maybe One Piece if they had taken Buggy out from the beginning. But I think, like, I'm not caught up to One Piece, but I think Buggy ends up being one of those characters that's, like, not a good guy, but also not the worst bad guy. Anyway. Yeah, I kind of had a feel. Oh, hey, she grew conscious enough to help out. Good for her. Fucking man went Smash Brothers mode. New challengers have arrived. It makes sense if this fills out the next couple of episodes, I guess. Alright, recap bit. Not really a huge bit of the recap. The fight between Shin and... what the fuck was her name? Toradoro? Something like that. Anyway, their fight came to an end to a seemingly passive conclusion. However, unfortunately, and I don't know how I didn't see this coming beforehand, the Slur person that's helping out was the third guy, not the ski hat dude. So I'll take that L. I will. But that is how it is. Wait, why am I recapping at the end of it? Probably because, like, I'm looking at the next episode start, so I was recapping. So apologies for that, but I guess recapping at the end of the episode isn't terrible either. I'm not going to do that, though. What I will go about is the questions of, number one, do you think that the girl's going to be added to the main cast as well, or do you think she's probably going to die in this fight anyway? I would like to see her in the main cast, because honestly, I think it would be, like, one of the best kind of bits to add her meeting Sakamoto herself, just to go complete fangirl mode. Like, I feel like that would be a good bit. Because obviously Akira, definitely part of the main cast. Mafuyu, maybe his expectancy will also only last as long as this training, but we'll see in both of their cases between Mafuyu and the girl. But you can let me know your opinions about those two specifically, because Akira, listen, she's got bright blue hair. She's being added to the main cast one way or the other. As for the other two, maybe they'll just last as long for this arc, maybe not, I don't know. We'll see. You can let me know your thoughts, as well as your thoughts as to how this whole Gaku VR thing is going to go. Do you think, like, in a lot of VR fashion, it's going to be the, capabilities that's going to fuck him over from winning the fight? Because honestly, things that involve, like, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, something like that. I know there's another word I was thinking of, kind of like in the fashion of the Switch uses or the Wii used, though I think the Wii used it better, of like the motion controls kind of thing, because all those have varying degrees of success. I think I've heard VR glitch and lag less than the other examples I gave, but if it works similar to like Switch motion controls, he's fucked within the first like 10 minutes of the fight, because those motion controls are just not that good. And yes, I say that mostly as somebody who uses them for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, but also that's part of why it's my second most hated Pokemon game on the Switch. But you can let me know your thoughts on all that stuff and anything else to do with the show, what I've said, what I've done, what the show has said or done, or about any other shows, movies, etc. I should check out this is next in or in general. And that said, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, or follow, depending on the platform you're watching it on. Subscribe to the YouTube channels. Ring both bells, like Facebook, follow Twitter and Blue Sky, keep updated with things. TikTok, Patreon, get the full and add visual and audio stuff I upload over. Well, not upload over there anymore because it's mainly the big stuff that's uploaded on Patreon, and I'll eventually get back to doing the cut up versions on YouTube, but with my standing right now, I'm so unsure. Go follow Twitch, subscribe for benefits, can do so Twitch Prime for free, helps me out immensely. And if you're on the YouTube side, check out the playlist here, let it run through, have conversations with the stuff within. Check out the video recommended to you here. And until next time, been the Blazer King with King's Critiques. Now, ta-ta for now. I just said King's Critiques again, even though it's technically on both ends, depending on the platform. Peace.